this was week 12. We had football on Thursday. We had football on Friday. We had football on Sunday. We have football going on in probably T-minus 10 minutes.
Yep.
So far, I'm 9-6 going into the Monday night game. I picked Dobbs, my boy Dobbs, and the Vikings to win. And I actually, what I texted you yesterday was, if Chicago wins, we would move up. It's not true. I lied. That's fake news because I always forget that they do strength of schedule.
Yeah, that's the weird one.
As the number one thing versus like the head-to-head matchup. So
what is that? If you lose to worse teams, you get a better pick? Is that how it works?
Yeah, so if for some reason if the Bears pull it out tonight, they'd be 4-8. We're 4-8. They beat us. They have a weaker schedule than we did.
Yeah,
so they would get the higher pick right now. But yeah, week 12, you guys are sitting at the number 2 pick. We're sitting at number 5.
Yeah, I think we're back at 3 because the Cardinals lost again.
Did you move back to?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. According to Tankathon, for all your tanking needs or draft pick needs for anything, NBA, NHL, NFL, tankathon.com will show you that. I used to follow it very closely in NBA when we had all the Nets picks and we were trying to watch and see where they fell.
Yeah.
Big fan of that. But yeah, we're currently at number 3. Arizona's obviously Chicago by way of Carolina's 1-10. Arizona's 2-10. New England's 2-9.
Crazy. Well, top 3 pick. It looks like I don't think Washington can.
Yeah, 5, yeah.
I don't know. They can't really. They could theoretically. They could move up. I don't see.
They don't do head. So you're right. They don't do head to head. Okay, yeah, I got you now.
I think they might do head to head if the strength of schedule was the exact same.
Yep.
But I always forget that too. So Washington's at the number 5 pick right now. So in New England apparently at number 3. I don't think the Panthers are going to probably stay in that one spot, which is the Bears really.
Right.
So the Bears have what? They have 1 and 4 right now?
4, yeah. And the Panthers just fired Frank Wright. So they might have that bump, that fired coach bump that happens from time to time. And they fired him. Josh McCown, I guess, was their quarterback's coach, which I didn't realize. He got fired, and so did someone else. So.
And we'll touch on it when we talk about that game, but that I was like, fucking again?
Yeah.
Like,
I can't think of any coach who's been fired twice. 2 years in a row mid-season.
Because he was fired mid-season.
Yeah, last
and that
year.
was, what, year 2 or 3 with the Colts?
2 or 3, yeah.
And he was fired mid-season.
And it's so funny because he was like the architect of the Eagles offensive Super Bowl with Nick Foles.
Yeah.
And then he left, and then Sirianni got the bump up. And so he became the coach there. And the Sirianni I think Sirianni went with him to Indianapolis, and then he went back to the Eagles. They all
really?
Yeah, so it was a bit of a that's why when the Eagles beat the Colts last year, right after they fired Wright, Sirianni was really fired up.
Oh
he's a big Frank Wright guy.
Yeah.
So a lot of Eagles coordinators coaching all over the place now.
God, I hate them. Well, we'll go right into the Thursday games, the Thanksgiving games. I had the Lions at home against the fucking Packers that are a roller coaster of a team this year, and surprise, surprise, Packers pull it out.
Yeah, I was surprised and saddened by that, being a Lions fan for this season, I guess, currently. I don't know, I'm getting a little concerned about the Lions. They're, sometimes they don't really put up, and the Packers, like you said, they've just been a roller coaster, but, Love made it seem after the game that they were up for that game. They're up for it. They were ready for that one.
You got to do that every fucking week.
Yeah,
but no, I get it. I mean, it could have been a trap game on paper. It's a division game. It's Thanksgiving. Anything could happen. But I assumed the Lions would have played better because really, up until the end, I mean, they were getting handled up until the very end, and then they sort of came back.
They did, yeah. They had a chance. They did have a chance.
Anyway, that's really all I got on that game. I'm gonna go.
Good. I watched. I watched the pretty much the whole thing. Because this is the 12:30 game. Yeah, so it was like right. And there's a lot of missed extra points. I know that. Goff didn't really. My boy Laporta got a touchdown like the first drive, and I was set. I was happy. I was Gucci, as they say, because I was like, boom, got it. And then I also so
got that.
I was happy about that. Yeah, exactly.
I'm just gonna go right into the Washington game. I'm not gonna save it because it was on Thursday.
Yeah, that's an awkward go back in time. Yeah,
I don't want to go too far back in time. Obviously, at this point, everybody knows that Del Rio got fired.
Yep.
The defensive backs coach got fired. I mean, it was 20-10 They didn't score in the third quarter. Nobody scored. So it was 20-10 going into the fourth quarter. And then it ended 45-10.
Yeah, I thought they were going to cover. I had them 11.
It was like 11 or 12. It kept changing.
I had them at 11. I took them. That was my money pick. And I was like, oh, they're probably going to do it. Like, they'll fall behind. Yeah, and they'll eventually get some garbage touchdowns. And then all of a sudden, the wheels fell off.
I mean, I didn't get to catch the very end, but it was the fourth quarter, and we had the ball. We were not driving, but we had the ball anyway. I left, and within 10 minutes of like life, not game 10 minutes, 10 minutes of like life, because that's very different. It was 45-10. I was on the phone, and they're like, oh, they just scored again. I was like, oh, it's 45-10. I thought it was 38. They scored another one, and then it was a pick six. And I mean, at this point, it's like Fire Del Rio. They've given up the most points in the league. They've given up. They're 29th in yards allowed. Well, last year, people forget, they fired their offensive coordinator. This year, they fired the defensive coordinator. So it's like, I'm just waiting for this shit to fucking end. They have talent, but they're just not good.
I know, this is just the saddest football show. It's so sad.
That's why we're picking like our other favorite teams. But I don't know. Again, Dallas looks like fucking. They look like world beaters to me. It's like West Warwick, Division IV soccer champions. Like, I'm sorry, like you're beating up on fucking bums. If you play D1, you can wear those fucking. You can wear those jackets all you want. You didn't fucking beat anybody. So I will.
Throw them up.
I will be so happy to watch them fail in the playoffs.
Yeah. I feel the same way. That they're the you always see, the Dolphins. They're the other team, the other team of the NFC. They're the Dolphins. They beat up on bad teams, and then when they play a good team, they fall flat in their face.
Yeah.
And one of their losses was to the Cardinals of all the teams in the world, which was hilarious. But that was very early in the season. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, CeeDee Lamb is legit. He's awesome. He's on like fire right now.
Yeah.
So if you have a wide receiver on fire, that's a big up, but sometimes they just, they can just disappear at like a moment's notice.
But they've always had a solid quarterback in the regular season. They've always had a stud receiver, and they've always had a good run game because Pollard is kind of stepped in for Zeke.
Yes.
They've always had those three things.
Yeah.
And a pretty good offensive line. Defense, but they usually have injuries. But that's going to be an interesting matchup because at some point, Dallas has to play Miami.
Yeah.
I don't know what week that is.
That'll be a tie.
Right.
That's
going to be the tie.
Yeah, I don't know when that game is.
But yeah, I mean, they are putting up big points because I know everybody's like, yeah, they're blowing teams out, which is fine. They're good enough to blow teams out, but they blew out the Giants, Washington, and Carolina.
Yeah.
That's great, but when you have to play the 49ers and the Eagles and these better teams, although I don't have much faith in how many elite teams there are this year.
No, I can think of, two.
I would say Philly and the Chiefs.
I was going to say Philly and the 49ers because the 49ers have picked it back up.
They've picked it back up, but because they stumbled, I don't know.
I guess if you're thinking out of the conferences, I would have. Or the Ravens are still doing pretty good. The Jaguars are technically the number one seed now.
They are the number one seed, but I still like. Yeah. There's no team that's like running away with it.
No, and even the Eagles, they've had to come back in the last 4 games. Like they keep falling behind, and that's not going to work forever. You're eventually magic's gonna run out.
Yep, and it's going to run out at the wrong fucking time once you hit the playoffs. Yeah. But I am all in for the draft because Washington. This is actually their toughest stretch because they had to play Dallas. They have to play Miami next week. They have to play Dallas again. They have to play the 49ers, and they have to go to New York and play the Jets. I know it's the Jets, but it's Washington playing in New York. I have no faith. So they could just lose out and go 4-13. I could see it.
Yeah, I could see that.
So we'll see because I have bets on who's going to have a worse record, Washington or New England. It could come down to a 4-win wins the fucking bet.
Oh my god! Yeah,
that's embarrassing.
It's brutal. It's really brutal right now.
It's a good year to start this show. So
yeah, no kidding.
On to some brighter news. The 49ers look like they're back. They win 31-13. I didn't catch much of this game.
I didn't watch a ton of it. It seemed pretty apparent that it was gonna go. You know, sometimes you just get a feel for a game where it's like 5, 10, whatever. First quarter's done, you're just like, oh, okay, I see where this one's going. So yeah, I didn't catch a ton of it. I was also very tired from, you know, it's a long holiday. It's a long day.
Yeah, it's a long day.
They didn't always have the primetime game on Thanksgiving. That was a newer thing with the butt fumble year, I think.
Yeah, within the last like 10 years, right? That's a new thing.
But they're definitely back. What was it, 20? Yeah, exactly. It was 24-3 at the half. So the game was over.
McCaffrey put up big numbers.
Yeah, he had a huge game. Purdy had a Purdy game, like this kind of game he has, and McCaffrey definitely just carried him. And the first drive I think with Debo, like you just see it right away how Debo what a difference he makes when he's in there. Yeah, when he's not. It's wild the difference.
I know he might be like the make or break.
He's their MVP in my opinion.
Yeah. Because without him, how many games did he miss? Did he miss all 3 that they lost?
I think so, yeah.
And then he came back and they just started winning again.
Yeah.
So he's like the difference maker on that team. I mean, they have a bunch of guys like Ayuk and McCaffrey and whatnot.
Yep.
Kittle.
Yep. But I think if any of those guys, like if Kittle gets hurt, it's not great, but it's not the end of the world. Debo, you would think too, like, oh, this is the wide receiver, they still have Ayuk and stuff, but no, for whatever reason, Debo just really makes them go. So
I hear that.
Good on him. I think I was 2-1 after the Thanksgiving games. I'm 10-5 currently, and I have the Vikings as well. So we'll see how that pans out. Why are the Bears on primetime again?
I don't know. I don't know.
We talked about this last week, I think.
Yeah, we did, but I have no fucking clue.
I think this is their last one. They had 4.
4?
Yeah.
2 Thursdays, a Monday,
and today's Monday. A Sunday and a Monday, right?
That's right. Ridiculous.
Patriots have not played their Thursday night game. I don't even know when it is.
Oh, yeah. That's coming up, too.
Oh, God.
Well, then we had the first ever Black Friday game, which I think the Jets were trying to campaign to make that their fucking thing every year.
Yeah. I mean, if I were them, I would do it because it guarantees you're home for Thanksgiving every year.
Yeah.
And it's an afternoon game, so you're home by dinner.
How did the numbers do on that?
I did not actually see any numbers on that. I'm curious. I'm not even sure how like the Black Friday shopping went and stuff. I did watch it. It was super boring because the Jets are just continuing to be the Jets, whether it's Zach Wilson or this guy. What was his name?
Yep.
Yep. No idea.
I don't think so. I think right after we did last week's is when they not only benched Zach Wilson, he is a third stringer.
Yeah.
He is done.
Oh, he's done. Yeah, done. Who did they get this? I'm trying to see what his name was. What's his name? Tim Boyle. Tim Boyle.
Shout out Tim Boyle.
Yeah, who was I think he was terrible for university. I think it was like West Virginia. Or hold on, because my college football friend let me know of his college career. And here it is. This is great. He said he had a riveting career for the Yukon Huskies. And he played there for 3 years. In his last season there, again, this was the Yukon Huskies, college football powerhouse. He had this can't even be right. 11 games played in 2015. He threw 60 attempts, 11 completions for no touchdowns and 2 interceptions. And then he didn't play in 2016. And then in 2017, he played for the Eastern Kentucky Colonels, another college football powerhouse. And he threw for 11 touchdowns and 13 interceptions in 11 games.
How does a guy like that get in the fucking league?
I don't know.
How does a guy like that get in the fucking league?
He's born in Hartford, Connecticut, though, so I guess he was cool that he played locally at UConn. But what?
That guy is starting over Zach Wilson, who was drafted number 2.
I don't even know.
Was he drafted number 2?
He was, because Trey Lance is 3, right? I think that's right.
Who went 1? I forgot who went 1.
Trevor Lawrence.
And then it was Zach.
Yeah.
At 2.
Yeah.
And then you get Tim Boyle.
Tim Boyle, undrafted free agent. So I looked at these numbers and I didn't believe it for a second. Like that's why it took me a second. I was like, he threw for 0 touchdown. He threw for 1 touchdown his entire 3-year career for the Yukon Huskies. Why did the Eastern Kentucky Colonels even agree to give him a scholarship?
Great, you can be on our team. It's like the Little Giants.
Yeah, and then he had 19 rushing attempts for negative 40 yards. How does that even happen?
Wait.
Unless they counted sacks. I'm looking at his Wikipedia, the stats on Wikipedia.
God, unless he was doing like the Mark Brunell, you like run back 40 yards and try to throw it and then just don't.
Wow.
That's pretty fucking pathetic. But again, I think this year of all years, it really highlights the need for a good backup quarterback.
Yeah. I just can't.
Especially with the Jets because they had Aaron Rodgers. Their backup was Zach. Zach is now a third stringer.
Yeah, it's like Aaron Rodgers, he was still a 39-year-old man, and you knew that his line wasn't great. I mean, these guys are still getting chased around like mad. Wow. The only thing I could really say about this game is I was watching it, and I had my head down, and I saw that the Dolphins were punting it or something like that. And then it was right at the end of the first half. I don't know if you saw what happened at the end of the first half. So the Dolphins went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. I looked away. I was like doing something. I was like, oh, whatever. They're just going to do a Hail Mary, the Jets, of which they did. Yeah. And then I look up and the Dolphins are celebrating a touchdown. I was like, what the hell just happened? Thankfully, it's on Prime, so I can rewind it. Yeah. Rewound it. They did a Hail Mary from the 50, and the Dolphins intercepted it at the 1 and returned it for a touchdown at the end of the first half.
The Jets returned it for a touchdown?
No, the Dolphins returned it for a touchdown. They intercepted the Hail Mary at the 1-yard line and ran it all the way back.
Oh, okay. So that's what that highlight is.
Yes,
I see it on the score thing. I didn't see anything from this game.
I watched that one. It actually worked out well being at 3:00. So according to like the 1961 Sports Broadcasting Act, they can't. The reason there's at 3:00 is because they can't air games opposite of like college football and high school football. So that's why they did it at 3:00, and that's why you never see college football games and NFL games on the same day because it's literally against the law. So so they wouldn't play it after 6:00.
I wonder how the numbers did for that. I mean, because it's at 3. Most people, if they still do Black Friday shopping, they probably were already back and home and probably just chilling. Yeah, but I didn't see anything.
I didn't see anything either, which is weird because usually I get something of like some sort of article. Yeah. Let me see what we got here.
I'm sure that if it did like halfway decent, they'll do it again, especially because the relationship that they have with Amazon and Bezos right now is like they're going to keep doubling down on that.
Yeah. I'm looking real quick. I'm looking at geekwire.com, which has a lot of ads. They sold a bunch of stuff, yada, yada, yada. But do they ever even highlight how many people watched, You know what I mean? Like, I never really trust us. It's streaming numbers, I guess.
Yeah, that I don't know.
Let's see. And it was free, so you didn't have to be. You didn't have to even have a Prime account. I'm not seeing any specific numbers here. I'm just seeing an article that says we watched and shopped Amazon's first Black Friday NFL broadcast.
I don't see anything. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, and they did do the annoying thing was. Yeah, during the game, during the commercials, I would pop up, be like, scan here to buy this thing. Oh, God. I did not scan anything, but I did see it.
That's how you get all your info. But
yeah, a lot of QR codes.
I would say that if it did halfway decent, which I expect it probably did because it was the only game, only NFL game, right? That they'll continue doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of money there. So. And I will probably watch it because I am a sucker.
Sucker for that free games.
Yeah, but didn't buy anything. Didn't Black Friday shop. Because whatever. Now they just like there's a deal all week long or all month long.
If you go to like Walmart or Target, it's all month long.
Yeah, so I got plenty of time. Talk to me a week from
I ain't sweating. Exactly. And then we roll right into Sunday. First game up, we had the Falcons of Atlanta over the Saints, 24-15. Yeah. Carr came back, 304 with a pick. That was literally it.
Yeah. I think they had a defensive touchdown in this game too, Atlanta. And Ritter was back too. And I know he's been playing, but he had a pretty decent touchdown throw on one play. But
this is one of the games we differed on. I picked the Saints.
Yeah, I picked the Falcons. 2 also rans at this point. Neither of these teams are doing much of anything, in my opinion. So the NFC South is pretty bad.
It's pretty bad.
Who's even going to win that division, honestly? Those 2 teams are leading the division at 5-6. So one of them's going to win it. The Bucs are 4-7. So yeah,
God, yeah, like what? Yeah, because
one of them's going to go to the playoffs.
This is going to be like the 2020 Washington football team, and they were 7-9.
Yeah,
celebrating a division win.
Probably.
Let's see. What is it at right now? Falcons at 5-6 technically have the lead.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot. Well, the Panthers don't have a shot.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yep.
That is a pretty piss poor division, and I would say that on paper going into the season with Derek Carr. I always want to say David Carr.
Poor David.
I know. Derek Carr. I think the Saints could have not ran away with it, but in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the Baker boys, the Baker Bucks, 4-7. Absolute fucking garbage. But yeah, the Falcons technically, they benched Ritter at one point, and they're in the lead. They have the division lead.
Yeah.
The next game. God, why did my whole screen just changed there? Sorry.
Next game was the Steelers. The freaking Steelers at 7-4, beating the Cincinnati Bengals without Joe Burrow, 16-10.
I just don't get it. Like,
yeah,
they're always competitive. Now, do they win a lot of Super Bowls? No. Do they make it? Not really. But like, they're always competitive.
The Steelers?
Yeah.
I don't even know the last time that they had a losing record. I don't think they never have under Tomlin. And they did win 2 Super Bowls in the past.
Right. But it's like
to a third.
You don't think of them as much as like the Patriots or the Chiefs or maybe even Philly at this point. Like, but they're always good. They're 7-4.
Yeah.
Granted, the Bengals are basically a fucking train wreck.
Yeah, especially now with Burrow gone. But yeah, I mean, the Steelers, they won in 2005. I think it was Super Bowl. I think it was XL. Yeah, extra large. They won that against the Seahawks.
Was that the Harrison
last game?
Wasn't it James Harrison?
That was the Steelers Cardinals Super Bowl when he returned 99 yards.
Yeah.
That was I don't know the number off the top of my head. But yeah, that was the other Super Bowl they won, and then they lost to this Aaron Rodgers Packers Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're always in the thick of it. I mean, as a Patriots fan, you always saw them in the playoffs. They usually had their way with them, but they still won those 2 Super Bowls. So it's like not like they had no success. But I don't think Tomlin has ever had a losing record with as a head coach, and they've only had like 4 head coaches ever. They went from Noel to Cowher to Tomlin. I don't know of any other coaches they've had.
I mean, that's
I'm
only
pretty
3.
sure. I think that's it.
That's only
I'm pretty sure that's it.
3.
It's insane. I mean, right now we're on the Panthers. We're on their 3rd head coach in like 4 years.
And then it goes to like Ron Rivera has not had a winning season since the year they went to the Super Bowl with the Panthers, and it's like, how many fucking years ago was that? 6, 7? Has not had a winning, because when we made the playoffs, we were 7-9.
Yeah,
and you got Tomlin, who's just like catching 10-win seasons, like no problem.
Doesn't matter if their scored differentials like -100. It's funny because their score differential is -100. They're 7-4, and the Bills score differential is like +100, and they're 6-6 or 6-7, whatever. So yeah, it's just silly, stupid. But it's because of games like this. You catch a team who's on the ropes, their quarterback's hurt. You fired your offensive coordinator, and they actually had their first game of 400 yards of offense since like 2020. So. Sorry, Matt Canada.
I'd say it's just weird. And I was talking to my cousin about this actually with the Bengals, and like I like Burrow, and obviously you had to pay him, but he's also missed a lot of time because the first year
towards ACL, right?
Yeah, he blew out his knee against Washington, and now he's out again for the rest. He has missed a lot of time.
Is he one of those? Is he
I don't know.
Injury prone? Is that a thing?
I don't know, because this is what, wrist?
Yeah, wrist or elbow. His wrist he had the brace, and then he hurt the elbow. Yeah. So, and then he had the calf injury that started the season.
Right. So it's like I don't know. I would take note of that. And I like Burrow, and I think he's got weapons. They could be really good. And I think people are looking at that as him being like in that.
Wasn't one of the things that he gets sacked a ton?
Especially the first year, he definitely did. As a rookie, he got sacked a bunch, and that's why he ended up getting hurt. But like, I don't know. This is 3 years in. Yeah, he's missed quite a bit of time.
True. You're not wrong. His one super healthy year, they did go to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Although last year he was pretty healthy too. So yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. It's something to keep an eye on for sure.
Because you're talking about different injuries too. Which I know, like sometimes it's like if it's the same knee, that's a problem. But then you talk about knee, calf, elbow, wrist.
Yeah, and they're season enders too, which is tough. So yeah, it's probably something to keep an eye on.
And then we go over to the Tennessee Titans, a whole whopping 17-10 over the fucking Panthers, and then you tipped me off today that this morning Frank Reich got canned,
got fired.
Is that number 2 for the year? McDaniels and Reich are the
second
first
coach.
First two?
I think so. And Adam Schefter, I think, was saying on Pat McAfee that he could see it being in like the 10, like a double-digit number. It could be like a 10 coaches looking for jobs, or 10 teams looking for coaches.
That'll be an interesting thing too, because there's definitely a few more out there, but 1 in 10. Oh yeah, that's so bad. But again, it's the same thing with the Jaguars with Urban Meyer. What the fuck were you thinking? The guy coached 11 fucking games, and you fired. Like, how do you fuck that up? You must have had a sample size of his coaching, which you did.
I do think some people thought he got done dirty by the Colts organization, whatever. Maybe not. Maybe not so much.
Right.
He got done dirty, Frank Reich, because he went there thinking that Luck. What am I wrong? He thought Luck was going to be there, and Luck surprisingly retired. Or I have my years wrong. I think I might have my years wrong.
I forget how many years.
Because they brought it. No, I'm wrong. Because they brought in Wentz.
He brought in Wentz because that was his boy.
So oh boy, because he was offensive coordinator for the Eagles when Wentz was 11-0.
Yeah.
I was thinking of McDaniel when McDaniels went there and left, and he left like about the altar or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You're right. You had that, and the thing with dude was when he was the coach of the Colts, they got worse and worse and worse. Like you never actually saw the improvement.
Right. So here's the other thing. If you're the Panthers, why'd you hire him? What did you see from him? And that's not to shit on him, but like, what did you see from him that he was your guy not that long ago, and then you didn't even get a full season in, and he's not your guy anymore?
Maybe they thought he could, for whatever reason, develop Bryce Young or whichever guy they wound up taking, him or C.J. Stroud.
Seems like they didn't help him much when they traded DJ Moore.
I know. I know. Well, they traded DJ Moore to trade up for him, right?
I think so. It was like that was kind of like the you had to kind of like cut your leg off kind of thing. But we talked about it. What was it? 3? How many years? 3 coaches in how many years?
I think it's like 3 and 4, or since 2018. So 3 coaches in 5 years since Tepper took over as the owner,
because he bought the team and then Rivera was the casualty.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they had Matt Rule.
Yep.
And then
Frank Reich,
and
Matt Rule was another weird hire that, again, he was another one of those college coaches where.
And then now where is he again?
He's back in college. So I don't understand where and it's funny because he was at the time I remember reading that was like he was like a hot ticket. Like they gave him an extra year of it because so many teams wanted him, and I always ask why. I never understood why these college coaches are such hot commodities. It's just a different game.
It is a totally different game. And like some of your best college coaches don't make it in the pros.
Yeah. Nick Saban.
Including Nick Saban. Yep. Steve Spurrier. Pete Carroll was a quasi-successful NFL coach before he went to USC. Because he coached the Patriots.
Yeah, he went to the playoffs, I think. So like he had some success there. And then he also had the freaking greatest defense of the modern era. So
right,
yeah. Anyway,
that's I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
There's talk about, now the Panthers job is open. That's 2. There's talk about the Titans with Vrabel.
Yep.
So that's another job that's potentially open. So
yeah.
And then on to 2, well, at least one more job that could be open. The Buccaneers and the Colts.
Right. Is the Bucs coach still
Bowles?
Yeah, that's still him. Yeah. That was another weird. That was weird last year when he never showed anything to become the head coach. He was the coach for like the Jets or whatever, and he was.
But even was it Arians?
Yeah.
Not a fan.
Don't know like.
Not a fucking fan.
Yeah.
Not a fan. When there was reports that there was like some sort of like issue with like, I don't know if it was Brady and him. I was like, man, that's fucking surprised. On his side, I'm like on Bruce's side. Like,
he's very red faced. Very red faced. Yeah.
Not fucking surprised. But yeah. Baker and the boys. I believe I went with the Minshew redemption.
Yeah, because you said you were over Baker betraying you, and I think I followed suit in that. And yeah, also with the Colts.
The Bucs too, like, they still have weapons to where if they actually had a good quarterback, they could be like, that division is wide open. I mean, at this point, if you were 6-5 in that division, you're fucking taking it.
Yep. Yeah, and they're technically not out of it. I mean, something could happen, but that's a bad year to be. It's a bad year to be less than middling. Like if you're kind of middling, you might have a shot. But yeah, it's a bad division all the way around.
I'm gonna skip that one.
You don't have to even skip it at this point. We can do the same thing.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So
Go ahead,
let's talk about this. Now I'm coping. I'm wearing my Super Bowl 49 sweatshirt, my Super Bowl 51. I'm sorry, my Super Bowl 49 hat. I'm sorry, I think I'm confused sometimes. My Super Bowl 49.
Yeah, right.
My
fucking
Super Bowl
2-9.
51 sweatshirt. I'm coping. I would wear my Super Bowl 53 hat, but it's very dirty because it's my yard work hat. At what point does it become tacky? How many years later how long can I wear these hats? This outfit?
Like, see, mine's almost like a vintage car at this point. Like,
right.
if you have a 20-year-old car, it's not that cool. But if you have like a 30-year-old car, now it's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's true. So there's a gap. So like this sweatshirt's like a nice looking sweatshirt, just in general, even if it wasn't a Super Bowl sweatshirt. If the Super Bowl 53 one, it doesn't look as good, which I don't even own it. I have
fair. It must be nice to have options.
Couple. I even have a Super Bowl 36 hat my dad got way back when, but that was a really cool one because it's red, white, and blue.
Anyway, onto the current state of the dregs of the league.
No, let's not talk about that. Let's talk about the past. I mean, like I said a few weeks ago, a Cowboys fan, literally in the year 2050. I got my hat, my sweatshirt.
Oh,
Cowboys
fans. At least with the Patriots fans, it's like, even when they were in the middle of their dynasty, it's like, oh, well, you can brag because you win. Dallas fans are just like, they're just fucking delusional.
1995.
95.
And we're currently at 20. What was our Super Bowl 2019? So 2029.
And you made the playoffs the next.
That's right. Year. 2 years. Yeah, 2 years later, 2030. God, oh my God. No, 2018. Excuse me. The Super Bowl 2018. The 2019. The season was 2018. So yeah, we're talking about like 2049. Like, putting it in context of Cowboys fans is so fun. But the Patriots, the thing, it's unfortunate because, and I said it to you before we went on the air, is it's like there's nothing even exciting to talk about. Like, there's nothing to talk about. Yeah. It's the same thing week in and week out. Like, why wait till the end? It's just get through it. This is 2 weeks in a row, and I think it's the first time in like since 1993, which was also the Patriots, that a defense gave up 10 points two games in a row and lost both. So that sucks for the defense. 1993 Patriots. Mac is, again, broken. I say it every week. He's broken. He's a broken man. He throws the stupidest interceptions off his back foot. And it's funny because, like, he gets rushed, which sucks, and he's probably going to get sacked. But what are you doing? Just throwing it into the clear blue sky.
The mistakes you can say in year one.
Yeah.
But you're in year 3. Right. You're on the back half of year 3, and he's already gotten benched 4 fucking times.
And then Zappy comes in, and like you had a week off to prepare for the Giants. Couldn't figure anything out. They have an undrafted. I mean, again, 10 points, but your offense can't figure anything out. It was a screenplay. Zappy came in after the half, and I think his because those are the things too. Mac went back out after that second interception and then fumbled it. They recovered it, but it didn't matter. But he still fumbled it.
Yeah.
Zappy went back out, went out there to start the second half. They scored a touchdown. And I took my son out to play in the backyard for a little bit. Yeah. I came back in like at the 2-minute warning. I missed literally nothing. He really needed to go outside and play. He was off the wall. I'm like, let me know if anything happens. I'll put the radio on my phone and listen in and stuff. And I missed nothing.
I did catch the back half of the game when Zappy was in, and it was like
He's also bad.
he is bad too.
I think he threw like his longest pass was like 4 yards.
The pick he threw was in triple coverage.
Yeah, he's getting
It's just like, but it was funny because like coming off the bye, I said the right thing to do is to start Mac. If he sucks, you bench him and you move on for the rest of the year.
Yep.
But in the same bye week, they cut Greer.
I know.
Because I think we talked about this was like, I think you give Mac the shot against a bum team off a bye. You give him the shot.
Yeah.
If he sucks,
Perfect.
you bench him,
the plug.
and then because Zappy's not any better to me, you throw in Will Greer, and they cut Greer on fucking Saturday.
At this point, just play Malik at quarterback. You're 2-9.
I would.
You got nothing to lose. Play the poor man's Lamar. And I only say that because they both went to Louisville, and and he was supposed to be like his understudy. Play him. Just play him.
If you do that, they're not going to carry 3. So what do? You cut Zappy?
He's already cut anyway. They like resign. I don't even know if they resigned like a full
doing this
3-year
shit.
deal. Yeah, who cares?
I mean,
Who cares?
we talked about it last week too, but like between Mac and Zach, I don't know who's worse. I think Mac, if he had a better cast, could be better.
I think Mac has a future in the league.
I
do. Yeah. Jess actually agrees. That was your question last week about him and Wilson.
Yeah.
She thinks he could play somewhere else. He needs to be fixed. He's broken.
He's had better
because Zach has weapons.
Yeah, and I think Mac has made some good throws, not a lot, but he's made some good throws, and then like he has a bum cast.
Yeah, but I will say, and it's weird because Zach Wilson can make the NFL throw. He just doesn't have the brains.
Yeah.
And Mac is supposed to have the brains, but still make stupid decisions. But I don't think he can make the throws. Sometimes he'll throw it to the outside and it just floats.
Yeah.
It takes forever to get there.
Yeah.
Zappy, not much different. It's just annoying because you miss whatever you did to it's travesty what they did to Mac Jones. But then you go, and then the next year, instead of spending a 4th round pick on like a flyer on offense, maybe another weapon, you take Zappy for the backup quarterback. It's like, okay, you couldn't just sign a dude off the streets like Tommy DeVito. You have to spend a 4th round draft pick on a backup quarterback who is just Mac. They're the same exact.
I can't differentiate the two.
Exactly.
They both make fucking terrible throws.
They're just both white bread dudes. And then you got him, and then you got this other the kicker who again you took in the 4th round, who just missed another 35-yard kick. He missed another one the last game, and it's just like
that kick was the epitome of the Patriots season. That one kick was like, that's it. I mean, there's like when you say there's nothing to talk about, there really is like nothing to talk. There's not a lot of talent on that team.
Yeah, and the most fun I've had this entire season was probably watching Malik Cunningham in the preseason. That one game he played, where he scored. It was against like 4th stringers, but he still is exciting. He's exciting. He can extend plays and throw a bullet. It was their season. As soon as it went up, I was like, he missed it, and I walked away.
Yeah,
I'm out. And then, again, another 4th round pick. The Cowboys kicker, they signed him from the USFL. Never even played in college.
Yeah,
and he's great. He's like, what are you doing spending 4th round capital on these kind of guys? It's just wild. And I was looking at the last draft, like 29, 28. So 2019. And we got Stevenson, who was decent.
Yeah.
But we drafted Pierre Strong at our running back. He's gone. We traded him.
Yeah.
We drafted Cole Strange in the 1st round, even though people had like a 4th round grade on him for a right guard. What? That's a wait. There's so many more players available. We take Thornton. He sucks. He's like 100 pounds soaking wet. We didn't take any offensive players until I think like the 4th round this past year. And who did we take? A backup center. It's like, what the hell are we doing over here?
I don't. Yeah,
what are we doing?
And they were known for like years and years and years. They were known for drafting and getting guys that were like not great, but they could fit into a role. And now it's like they're missing on everything.
And they used to always plan like for the next guy, like the guy to replace the guy. But you can't do that right now. Like you don't have that luxury.
You don't have a a guy to replace.
So it's like, what? And that's why I say, like, it's so tough because I have a hard time. But Mac is like, that's why I say he's broken. He's just a broken man who has nothing. Greer's gone. Zappy sucks.
Fucking
play those.
Poor
Just
Greer.
play Malik. Just play Malik.
I would.
I would.
It's going to be interesting because, like, again, you give Mac the shot off a bye against a bum team, and he throws 2 picks in the first half.
Yeah, right.
Like, what the fuck do you do?
Yeah, even in the halftime show, Gronk was like, because he works for the Fox team now, so he doesn't watch a lot of Patriots games now. But he said this is the first time he watched a half all like season long, and he couldn't believe how bad it was. And it's brutal. It's
bad.
Brutal. It's brutal. There's nothing else to say.
Anyway,
yeah,
2-9.
2-9.
Third pick in the draft.
Yeah.
On to our two new favorite teams, which is the game of the week was the Jags and the Texans. I picked the Texans. You picked the Jags.
Yeah.
It was a good fucking game. At one point, I just have to touch on this, even though they won. Right before the half. Yeah, what
some shenanigans happened.
So Jacksonville got a big play that put them down at the 1 with 1 second left. So it was It was like only a few seconds. It was a big play. He gets all the way down to the 1 with 1 second left. So I know that's kind of like it stings a little bit because you're like, we almost had a touchdown. We're right at the 1, but you only had 1 second left, and they go for it and they miss it. And I know they won the game. Go up 2 scores.
Right.
You take the fuck. I know it sucks to kick a field goal from the fucking the 1. But you take those points. It was 13-6. If they would have went up 16 to 16-7. Sorry, it was 13-7.
Yeah. So
you're up 9.
If they just kicked that field goal, there would not be the Texans would not be a yard away from tying the game at the end of the game.
Exactly.
My big thing is, and coaches have, I don't know if because they're playing too much Madden. We talked about this on text a little bit. Sometimes it seems like they're going the opposite way. The pendulum is swinging the other way. Just go for it on 4th down all the time. Which is super. It's exciting, sure, but let's take the points. If it's 10, let me think of it this way. If it's 10-7, go for it. Because if you kick a field goal, it's still a 2-possession game. You know what I mean? So if it's 10-7, and you're in that position, I say go for it. Because if you kick a field goal, it's 13-7.
Oh, yeah, it's still one
possession game.
Yeah.
Make it,
sure.
But if it's 10-3, kick the field goal.
In this case, it was 13-6, and I think they got like excited because it was a big play that got them down to the 1.
Hyped up.
But it was like, you're at the 1.
Yeah.
If I'm them, and they won the game, so it doesn't matter. But but these little decisions, I think, have a big impact.
Yeah.
If I'm the coach, I'm taking the 3.
Yeah.
I know it's a divisional game. Texans are kind of hot right now. I'm taking the fucking 3, and I'm going into the half up 2 scores.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, if it keeps it within, if it makes it a 2-possession game or a 3-possession game, I say just
take
3.
those points.
Yeah, if you want to expand it more than a 1-possession game or more than a 2, then I say go for it.
Because what really sank Washington, other than the entire game, is that we're watching the highlights now of that. At one point, we were down 13. Okay, so you're down 2 scores, right? Washington was down 13. And decided to go for it on a 4th and 1 with 12 and a half minutes left from their own 34. And missed it.
Oh, Doug, yeah.
And Dallas scored, and now you're down 20. So now you lost.
Yep.
You could have just you were down 13.
Yeah.
Granted, you know.
And that was the big thing in the Lions game. They went for 4th like 4 or 5 times and didn't get any of them.
Yeah, I don't. It's got to be situational. And like even some of the play calling, I know I'm going backwards now, but just to compare.
Yeah.
Washington went for it on a 3rd and 1 early in the game, and they went for a 30-yard bomb to Terry and missed it. And then on 4th and 1, they did a hesitation handoff in the shotgun and missed it. What the fuck were you thinking? What the fuck were you thinking? But yeah, Ron called that 4th and 1. But again, I would just take the points.
High percentage plays. Like the 4th and 1, like you get, like I'm always like, go in your playbook and find that one play that you know is going to get you 2 yards. And then they go for like this weird 30-yard out. But what the hell are you doing? You see the same thing in basketball. It's like, why are you taking a low percentage shot?
Right.
You take the high percentage shot.
Yeah.
The closer to the rim, the higher the shot.
But then on a 4th, so you do that on a 3rd and 1, and then on a 4th and 1, they in the shotgun, and they do the, like the hesitation.
I hate the shotgun run. I hate it.
And because you know where they're going. There is no fucking guesswork there. It was in the shotgun, he's already there. You obviously know where he's going, and they missed it.
Yep.
But anyway, that was the game of the week. Jags now have the number 1 seed in the AFC.
They do. Now, I will say this time, I believe around this time in the season in 2019, Mac Jones' rookie year in 2021, they were the Patriots are the 1 seed, like at this moment in time. So might not mean much. That was the highest I've gotten since that last Super Bowl. I was like, look at us. Look at us.
Well, you made the playoffs that year.
We did.
But it's been downhill ever since.
All downhill. Hopefully they keep Belichick because I want to see them on Hard Knocks.
It's possible. Anyway, I am very excited about the Texans. I like D'Amico. I like Stroud. Mm-hmm. He just seems like confident in there as a rookie. Mm-hmm. I like him. Yeah. I like both. I like the Jags too, but I always somehow pick against
I like
them.
to see teams who are, the number 2 overall pick doing well.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Then we had this scoregami game.
Yeah, scoregami.
Which is, honestly, it happened because it was a late safety. It was 27-12. It was a late safety, and it was 29-12. It was the first time in history that has happened. Mm-hmm. The Broncos, after being dead.
I know.
I feel like the 3 of us jinxed them back to life.
I'm so upset about that.
Now they're 6-5. Granted, the Browns looked like shit.
And their quarterback got hurt. The rookie quarterback got hurt, so he was out for a bit. Another back to PJ, XFL legend, Tucker, whatever. So they might be at 7-4. They might be in big trouble. And I think Myles Garrett got hurt too in that game.
He was in, but he was hurt the whole time.
He heard something pop.
Yeah, it was weird, but he kept playing.
Yeah, you're seeing a lot more scoregami games since they moved the extra points back. Because you've seen a lot of missed extra points.
Yeah, true.
Well, not a lot, but more. And then more 2-point attempts. So I think you've seen an uptick since they moved it back, which I'm all for. I like wild numbers.
And I wonder too, with the extra game, there's always the chance for that to happen even more.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, the Broncos, 5 in a row, 6-5. I think, are they technically in a wild card? No, they're close.
Yeah, they're in the hunt.
They're there's a tie right now for. I think technically right now they're out, but
let me see what that playoff picture's looking like while we're talking about it. Sorry, just waiting for the NFL.com to come up. Come on. They had so much of these websites, it just takes forever to load up. Okay, it's being stupid. Oh, they haven't even updated this yet because it's showing the Ravens as the number 1 seed. Oh, they must be since they won. Oh, because they played last night. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yep, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so they had the Chiefs, and they had the Chiefs as the 2 seeds. So something must have got shifted around that bumped the Jaguars down to 3.
But at one point before last night,
they were the 1.
They were the
1
seed.
seed. Yeah.
God, we're just lying over here.
I know. God, don't quote us. Don't. You're right. Yeah, on the bubble are the Texans at the 8 seed and the Broncos at the 9 seed. So they're both on the bubble.
Which is crazy because we were talking about potentially Russ getting benched and Peyton getting fired mid-season, and now they're 6-5. They're kind of rolling.
And now the opposite, the other thing might be happening too with the Bills at the 10 seed at 6-6. It could be McDermott being fired.
Yeah.
Not that Josh Allen's going to get benched, but I could totally see that happening.
Yeah, that's the newest hot seat that
I've
been hearing was McDermott.
I've been saying it for years. That dude blew it.
The window is now closed.
Yeah.
I picked the Cardinals for some reason in this game.
It was stupid of us.
Because the fucking Rams act like they're like the Packers and the Broncos. It's I don't know what the fuck to get from them. Mm-hmm. They pull one out of their ass. Stafford has a fucking huge game, and I don't know. 37-14.
Kyler's back. So you're like, oh, maybe the Cardinals show some fight, but
where are the Cardinals? Where are they in the draft order? Because they're 2. All right, so that's why New England fell back because the Cardinals. I was going to say they're 2-10.
Yep.
Because the Cardinals haven't had their bye yet. But,
so I'm officially on the watch of. Let me watch this team to see if they lose. Let me root for the other team.
That's where I was too. I was rooting for the Giants because it helped me.
Yeah, it's a shitty place to be, but it is what it
Welcome
is.
Welcome to hell.
It is what it is, I guess. I mean, I enjoy watching the game, so I guess it's nice to have a little something to hold on to.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Raiders and Chiefs. Raiders were up 14-0 early.
They were. And I was like, oh, man, that coach bum.
Yeah.
And then they fell back down to earth.
Yeah, I mean, it's a game the Chiefs should have won. Their division game. I mean, their record against the division is...
They beat the crap out of that division.
Yeah, it's like bad. But at one point, it was 14-0. It's like... It was another... Oh, the next game, which was the Bills, was like... A 10-point and a 14-point lead is nothing nowadays.
I know.
Because I still get mad if Washington blows a 7-point lead. Because that's my thing is like, you were winning the game and blew it. But they were up 14-0. The Bills, I think, they were up 14 at one point, or they were up 10.
Yeah.
And they were up 10 in the fourth quarter, weren't they?
Yeah, especially, I think, a couple of years ago when the Chiefs went on that Super Bowl run, weren't they losing like every game by like 10 plus? Like they won that Super Bowl, they're down by 10. They were down like 24-0 to the Texans in the AFC game of the division.
Yeah.
And they wiped that away like nothing.
Yeah.
So yeah, 14 points is nothing. I will say the one thing the Chiefs did big in this game is Rashee Rice. Their wide receiver, because their wide receiver core is terrible.
Yeah.
The primetime game last week, they were dropping balls left and right. Rice is their best in my opinion, he's their best wide receiver after like not Sky Moore. Hardman definitely, not MVS who dropped that touchdown.
Yeah.
It's him, and they actually got on the ball a bit more, so maybe they found another guy to go to. But yeah. The Bills Eagles game, which was the game of the week, I think I texted you and I said the Bills went from up 14 or up 10 to like down 4 in like a blink of an eye.
Yeah, and it was. I mean, I think they were up. I think they had a 10-point lead in the half.
Yeah.
And then they had a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
And they blew it.
Yep. Yeah.
But also, like, the 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter, don't even take a shot. You just kneel.
No, they just kneeled it because they don't. Yeah, because he's a scaredy cat. And, Josh Allen will probably throw an interception because that's what he does. But it's still a scaredy cat.
You play to win the game.
Yeah.
You have 20 seconds on your side to avoid this whole fucking overtime thing, which I'm not even, like, the biggest fan of the overtime. I don't like that it's only 10 minutes now. I don't like the fucking field goal bullshit.
Yeah.
But you had the chance with 20 seconds left. Just fucking bomb it. The odds of you throwing a pick and then them returning it is very fucking low.
Yeah.
Why not try it?
All you needed was an attempt, So you need like 30
Because
yards.
guess what? When they went to overtime and they won the toss, they got the ball. Guess what? Then they had to go down the field. Like,
I don't know.
had the chance to go down the field.
Right.
In regulation.
I don't know if Bass has a leg like the Eagles guy does, who kicked a 58-yarder to win it, or tie it. But again, what's wrong with a 54-yard attempt with time expiring? If they would even make it that, I would. Yeah. But in this day and age, you see these teams go down in 12 seconds. Like it happens all the time.
I know that. To me, that was such a weak move to
McDermott,
kneel
Farr McDermott.
It's weird because again, going into the season, you got Cincinnati and Buffalo. Yeah, both bumming right now.
The best part about the Patriots season so far is that we beat Buffalo, and we might potentially help knock them out of the playoffs, which would be awesome. I'm all for that.
What was the other win that you had?
Jets, of course. We'll see.
You guys, as bad as you are, still have your way with the Jets.
Yep.
It's so fucking
divisional
ridiculous.
wins, and I think we have to play. I think that was in New York, so
you got to play them one more time. Yeah. But hey, here's a fun fact for you. The Patriots have 2 wins in their division, and Washington has 0.
There you go.
0-5, baby.
Oof.
I didn't catch any of last night's game, but the Ravens won 20-10 over the Chargers. That is going to be one of those. I think they were ranking the potential coaching vacancies and what teams were the most attractive. And they had
Chargers,
They had the Chargers at number 1 because they had Washington at number 2, Chargers at number 1 because you have a quarterback that you can build around.
Yeah, it's funny because the last time they did that, the Chargers were also number 1 because it's just what they are. The guy comes in. I did watch this entire game because it was like fantasy implications kind of, but I also just felt like I felt like just staying up late and watching. I don't know why. Sure. Sometimes you're like, I'm just going to keep the TV on and lay in bed.
Fuck it.
And the Ravens defense, man, is legit. They're fast. They're flying all over the place. I feel bad for Herbert because I think his wide receivers had like 2 or 3 fumbles of just like short little passes, and they're just boop, immediately drop it or fumble it. And I'm really glad they lost by 10 and not 3 because the Chargers have lost 7 straight games decided by 3 points or less. Oof. Almost 8. So that stat line came across in that game.
Jeez.
But yeah, that's definitely the number. I would say that's the number one. I just wouldn't want to play in Los Angeles where you're the second fiddle to a city that also doesn't really care about the NFL.
I know.
It's so awkward.
I know. But again, you got some talent. You got Herbert.
Yep.
You know, like you got Keenan Allen. There's weapons there, but they just can't fucking put it together. 4-7.
Yeah. I will say here, I think Eckler is toast. I think he's awesome.
Yeah.
But I think as a running back, his time is up, sadly.
Unfortunately.
He's slow. He's slow. You might still have a few more games here or there, but you see it happen with these guys. It's just like,
yeah.
One day you just turn around like, what happened?
Yeah.
Like, you're girly. You were so good. What happened?
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Yep.
Once you hit 29 as a running back, it's...
I know. Here comes the oldest man and the oldest running back of the league. And here we are. Woof.
No teams on bye this week. So
no, sir.
That was our breakdown of week 12.
Mm-hmm.
And you tell me where you want to go. What corner do you want to go in?
You tell me what corner you want to go in.
Let's go in. You got a hot take?
I do. It's not the hottest of takes.
You know,
I know they're getting this, babe. So, she said the Eagles are going back to the Super Bowl. Oh no! it's a take. I mean, they're 9-1.
They're the number one team in the league. That is not a hot take. That is ice cold. That is just as ice cold take. Well, I mean, yeah. I hope not, if I'm being honest. I hope not.
Yeah, and she did answer your question from last week and said that she agrees that Mac Jones will be in the league longer than Wilson.
Zach.
Yeah. And that he might start somewhere whenever he leaves New England. So I think that's a hotter take, honestly.
That's a hotter, yeah, because the Mac and Zach.
So see, after this game that just happened, it's not great.
Yeah,
it's not great.
That's pretty bad. But all right,
okay. But I mean, the Eagles, they're what, 10-1 right now. So it's like, I guess they probably are. I mean, but I don't know. We'll see what happens because next week. Actually, you know what? Because I even said to you that the whole thing about coming back 4 times in a row, it's gonna bite you in the ass.
Yeah.
So I can see them.
Yeah.
They're full of themselves. Even though you would think they won the Super Bowl last year with the way they act. Honestly,
they are very cocky.
Yeah,
they're a very cocky team.
So I'm talking myself into that being a hot take.
See, that's the thing. Like, if for some reason, and I hope it doesn't happen, but if it came down to Dallas and Philly, it's like, just stab me in the fucking eyes because I'm so sick of Philly. And Dallas is like, I love the fact that they're so delusional and they haven't won. They haven't even won the division twice in a row.
Mm-hmm. This will be the first time in a long time that a team actually did it right.
In at least 20 years, which is fucking crazy.
That is crazy.
But okay, all right,
yeah, we'll see.
What do we got?
Write it down. Mark it down.
Do you have a new? Do you have a new beverage this week?
I do. I do have a new beverage this week.
Let's hear it.
This is the Athletic Light. This is their version of the Bud Light. 20. This is non-alcoholic brew. From Athletic, who I've had on the show before. It's only 25 calories, 5 grams of carbs if you're carb loading. So very light, and it legitimately tastes like Bud Light. Like, it's the first time I ever had it. I was like, it's like a combination of like Bud Light, Coors Light, all thrown into just shake it up.
Really?
It's wild. I don't know how they do it, but it's not my favorite of theirs.
Yeah.
But if you're just looking for a Bud Light, you can throw back like 30 of them. This is the one for you.
Well, there you go. Shout out to Athletic Brewing.
Yeah.
Let's hit the fantasy corner.
I'm a little upset about this.
So am I, because I'm basically gonna miss the playoffs in both leagues.
Yeah. So Cheese's league. Shout out Cheese. Let me just get this over with because I'm not happy. I think we just lost to freaking Lauren. Shout out Lauren. So 2 weeks ago, Greg the Leg got me 80 points 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
The last 2 weeks combined, he's gotten me 3 points.
Really?
Yeah. So he had no field goals on prime Friday video bullshit and 1 extra point. Jeez. So I am toast. I'm toast.
I'm also fudged. I have Russell Wilson in the cheese league, and right now I'm losing by like a point. However, the person I am playing has fuck is this? Khalil Herbert for Chicago has Madison
Running back, yeah.
and I think that's it. He had Kyle last night. So I have Santos, and he's 1 for 2 on field goals. Luckily, kickers can save your ass in this league. But I am still projected to lose by a hefty margin. And so I will likely miss the playoffs in both of my leagues.
Oof. In my money league, I am in first place with a record of 8-3, and I'm about to win this week, 9-3. I did not have my best week. However, I did play the team in last place. So
but a win's a win.
The team is yes. And I feel for him. Shout out. I don't want to shame him, but they have been referring it as to the jokingly. People have been saying it's the bye week throughout the season because his team is so bad. And he says it's funny. He's like I swear to God, I do so much better in my other leagues. I don't know what it is about this one.
Sure.
Yeah. But I'm like, you just take all our hot tips and then go to that. Like he picked up Puka Nakua in other leagues, like because our league someone already freaking had him. Although I think he hasn't been as good lately, but still. Yeah, it wasn't the best, but Laporta got my 15 points, and so when Laporta scored 15 and then CD scored 15, I was like, okay, I'm probably good. It's Thursday. I already knew at that point I was in good shape. So that's my money league, and that's go well. Cheese's league, it's not looking good. Not looking good.
No, I'm gonna be on the outs on that as well. So anyway, there's your fantasy corner.
Yeah,
and on to. Week 13.
Week 13. Back to the regularly scheduled programming with the NFL. Let me just.
Do you know who my Joker pick was last week?
No,
I don't either. So now I have to make sure I write it down on here because I forgot who I said.
Was it the Bills? It might have been the Bills.
Maybe it was.
I think it was the Bills.
Maybe.
Yeah. Good job. Nice work.
I need to write it down on here so I know.
I listened. Well, so last week was programming note. Last week was awkward with the holiday between the video and the audio. Like I was like on Thanksgiving, like, oh shit, I haven't uploaded the audio yet.
That was bad.
So I got it up late and I listened late. One night, I forget what I was doing. I was like doing dishes or something, and I didn't get a chance to finish. I usually try to listen back just to what did I say that was silly? Or what can I do better? Yeah. Am I not looking enough? Am I talking too much? That kind of thing. But I'm pretty sure it was the Bills. Pretty sure.
That sounds right. Last week I was trying to export it so I could at least start the upload to YouTube. So when I woke up in the morning, it was already there. Mm-hmm. But what happened was when I went to go move my computer off the floor and pick it up, my hard drive came out of the slot, and I had to fucking export it. And when I export these, they take an hour and a half.
Yep.
And then the upload to YouTube, and then the Wi-Fi in the hotel was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah,
so
that's happened to me with the audio. Just trying to do it overnight in North Carolina, it crashed. Well, not crashed, but just stopped work, failed overnight, and then that's what I had to do the next day.
Wonderful.
So, but yeah, we're back to our regular schedule and everything this week. I think we're good. So on to week 12.
13.
13. Oh my goodness gracious!
It's just flying by.
It is. So I gotta make my notes here. So I capture all of my picks. Sorry, I got the hiccups. Alrighty. First game. Thursday. Prime Video. We have the Seattle Seahawks traveling to the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys are 8.5-point favorites. That seems like a lot.
Geno playing?
That's a good point. I don't know.
I'm going to pick Dallas, but I don't that spread would scare me if Geno was playing maybe.
Yeah, he's using a full week. Why does it say use full week to get healthy? Not getting banged. Yeah, I don't know.
Dallas is also 5-0 at home.
Yeah, I think you're right there. What they should do is they should let Geno rest and then get the extra bonus time because it's a week. It's not a bye, but you get a week and a half essentially. So
yeah,
I'll take the Cowboys on that one. I don't even know who the Seahawks backup quarterback is.
That's a great question also.
Jesus. Drew Lock. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Hey, shout out Drew Lock.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that with the trade. We knew that. Alrighty. And then going, so no additional Thursday game, no Black Friday game, no Saturday game. Not yet. There will be some soon. Yeah. Towards the end of the season, especially with college football coming to an end. We have the Indianapolis Colts traveling to the Tennessee Titans. The Indianapolis Colts are 2.5-point favorites.
I'm going to go with the Colts, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Titans win.
Yeah.
But I feel like Minshew should have a better game than Will Levi Jeans.
Yeah. I know. And I want the Colts to win. Man, I don't know if they will, though. I want to say, I will say Colts. I will say Colts. That's right. Will Levi Jeans is playing quarterback still. Yeah, I'm going Colts. Yep. Next, we have 1:00 p.m. The Los Angeles Chargers of San Diego traveling to the New England Patriots. Now, it is a West Coast team going to the East Coast.
Yeah.
The Patriots have had their way with the Chargers over the last couple of years, but this isn't your father's New England Patriots. This isn't your older brother's New England Patriots.
No, this actually is your father's Patriots.
Although my father remembers the Patriots of yesteryear.
Right, that's what I mean.
Like, my first memory of the New England Patriots was the 1995 NFL season. That was my first memory of them. So I have some memory of those, not a lot. I don't remember the 1-15 season, but yeah, 95 is my first memory. My first NFL memory was Super Bowl, I think 29. Oh man,
what a time!
Yeah, what a time to be alive. What a stretch! What a run! What a run! What a run!
I wonder who they're gonna start.
That's where we're at this point.
I mean,
the Chargers are 6-point favorites, by the way.
I'm gonna take the Chargers because of because again,
you don't even have you can't even start Zappy because he's also really bad. And they're not like backups.
I know,
like backups. They're not great. They're always the most popular player on the team, you know.
But no matter if Mac or Zappy is in, no matter, because I think when they've both played, fact check me on this. You don't have to do it right now. When they've both appeared in a game, have they not always both thrown a pick?
I think so, because the only one I can think of is the Bears last year, Monday Night Football, when Zappy came in, looked amazing, and then was shitty.
Yeah, he looked good. But this year, Mac has gotten benched 4 times, and Zappy has come in.
The last drive of the game against the Colts 2 weeks ago, Zappy came in through an interception.
I think every time Zappy has been in the game, he's threw a pick.
Yeah.
And so
Mac has definitely thrown a pick in every game.
Right. So between the two of them, you know there's going to be picks. Yeah. I will take my odds with Herbert. Yeah. It's not going to be good. Maybe.
I don't want to take the Chargers, but I'm going to. Unfortunately, but like
the Patriots can't even score fucking 10 points at this point.
Exactly.
So I don't know. I'm gonna say Chargers 23-10.
Oh, wow, you're doing the score now.
I don't know why I felt the need to do it.
23-10.
We never do this, but I felt the need to just say it. 23-10
per Joe. Okay, I'll write that down. All right then. All right. Next we have the Detroit Lions traveling to the Narland Saints. Detroit Lions are 4-point favorites. I think the Lions are going to bounce back, and I'm taking the Lions.
I'm taking the Lions too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then we have the first place Atlanta Falcons traveling to the New York Jets. The Falcons are 3-point favorites in this game. After looking at Tim Boyle's college career, I don't think I could.
You're definitely picking the Jets. Yeah. That's what you're telling me.
I don't think I could ever pick the Jets ever again for the rest of the year. If he continues to play, I mean, he might not be starting again. I don't know.
Well, Zach's third on the fucking.
That's right. Who's second? I don't know why they need to sign Joe Flacco again.
I don't know either, but for the same exact reasons, I'm going to pick the Falcons over the Jets.
Oh man, Trevor Siemian
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember him.
He's bounced around a little bit.
He has.
Why not play him?
Right? I feel like if anyone gives him a better chance, it's him.
I would.
He's played some football.
He definitely had. Did he play before? Simeon. He didn't play in Denver, did he?
He did. Yeah.
I would be starting him. I don't know what you were thinking with Boyle and Wilson. It's like you guys are actively trying to get fired.
Right?
If you have a guy
another
who's
coaching job that could be on the.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at Trevor's stats here. Yeah, he went. Oh, he's really bounced around. Broncos, Vikings, Jets, Titans, Saints, Bears, Bengals, Jets. Some practice squad in there.
But do you not give him the edge over Zach Wilson and Tim Boyle just off of the fact that he's been in the league?
Yeah. It's funny. I'm looking at his college stats here too. And
No.
2014, 7 touchdowns, 11 interceptions.
Let's not get into the semantics.
What is going on here?
This is also the fucking Jets.
Yeah, yeah. The beggars can't be choosers. So he played for New Orleans. He played in 11. I'm sorry. He played in 6 games. Started 4. He threw 11 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. That seems pretty good.
I don't, again, Zach Wilson, Tim Boyle, and Trevor Siemian. I'd be playing Trevor Siemian. I honestly might have played him. I don't know when they picked him up.
Yeah, that's true. His best year is 2016 when he started 14 games for the Broncos, threw 18 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Again, better than anything Zach Wilson's done.
Zach Wilson on the year is 6 touchdowns and 7 interceptions.
Yeah.
And that's over the course of 11 games.
Right.
So that's not good.
No, it's not
right?
good. That's not good at all. So, yeah, definitely taking the Falcons on that one. Then we have, God, this is going to be a shitty game. We have the Cardinals traveling to the Steelers. I don't want to do it, but I'm going to take this. Oh, this one's tough because I want to take the Steelers, but I'm like, this is the game where they fall flat on their face.
If it was in Arizona, I might pick the Cardinals.
Yeah.
But I can't. I can't do it. They're fucking bad.
I'm doing it. I'm picking the Cardinals.
Whoa!
That way it gives us, yeah.
Whoa! Is that a money pick?
No. 5.5. Steelers are 5.
Oh, I know your money pick. I think I know what it is.
Oh,
because they fucked you last week.
Yeah. So we got the Miami Dolphins. 9.5-point favorites traveling to the Washington Redskin football team Commanders. It's possible. It's possible. You might be in for a long day at the office here.
They fucked you on that one. Washington again has the worst defense in the league. They've given up the most points. They are 29th in yards allowed. Well, that was up until Thursday, so I don't know with the weekend, but they're basically the worst fucking defense in the league.
You know, you just talked me into it.
I mean, I'm only saying it for your own revenge. They fucked you. Picked them on the points. With
I know. I was like,
Dallas.
I was looking at the Lions game, where they're 4-point favorites over the Saints. I was like, they might make a comeback for it. Yeah.
Okay. Are we doing it?
Yeah, I'll do Dolphins.
We're locking it in. Locking in the money pick, the Dolphins with a 9.5 point. Honestly, if I'm a betting man, I would take that all day in Miami's favor. Because I'm not a betting man.
Right.
And there is such a thing called trap games.
That might be the Steelers-Cardinals game.
Washington's 1-4 at home. For context, they really fucking... They shine in Landover. Another fucking reason to leave.
Oh God.
I don't know, dude. Like this is it's coming down to the point where like I could not pick Dallas over Washington, even though it was like pretty obvious. Mm-hmm. This is like trap games happen. I don't know who's gonna guard Tyreek. I'm assuming it might be St. Juice.
Yeah.
But then you got Waddle. And Forbes is out, so who are you gonna put? I guess Kendall. I don't know. I fucking hate to root against I'm not rooting. I'm picking.
Yep.
I might go with Dolphins.
Yeah.
I just don't see it.
Just close your eyes and type it out.
They beat up on bums, and Washington is just, they're 4-8. They are fucking bad.
Yeah. Yep. Righty. Then we got the Denver Broncos, the 6-5 Denver Broncos traveling to the 6-5 Houston Texans.
Oh, I fucked it up. Joker pick of the week.
Who?
Denver Broncos.
They're feeling themselves.
They're feeling themselves a little too much. Going into Houston, picking the Texans.
Yeah, I like it. Texans are mad. They were a yard away from tying it and going to overtime. They're on the outs. They're actually both. This is a big playoff implication game for sure because both these teams are on the bubble. So we shall see what happens.
Yeah. Wait, who are you going with?
I'll do the Texans.
I like it.
Yeah, I could see this one going either way, but I'll take
Texans at home.
Texans at home, exactly. Yeah.
And that 5-game win streak, I feel like has to be snapped.
Yep.
Too much hype on them now.
Yep. Yeah, you're totally right. And then next we got the this is going to the 4:00 games. Here we got toilet bowl game. We got the Carolina Panthers traveling to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Talk about middling NFL football game.
God, it's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be like fucking 17-13 or 13-10. I will take the Tampa Bakers.
Me too. I feel like I'm taking a lot of favorites this week, but I'm not seeing a lot of upsets on the board here. I did take the Cardinals, so I'll give myself credit for that one.
Fair.
And then I'm doing the same thing for the next one. We got the Browns traveling to the Rams. Browns are back to PJ whatever, and the Rams. I keep picking against the Rams, and they keep effing me, so I'm going Rams.
I'm going Rams too. I just think if Stafford's playing, the Browns are just they're bumming right now. I mean, PJ went in, and I know he came in late, but he looked fucking terrible.
Yep.
I'm going to go with
the
Rams.
Then we have probably the game of the week. The game I said a few weeks ago, just wake me when this game gets here. For the NFC, we have the Santa Clara 49ers, who are back on the wagon, traveling to the Philadelphia Eagles. And the 49ers are 2.5-point favorites. The Eagles love that.
Yeah, see, and I was going into this like, I'm going to pick. You talk about an underdog. I'm going to pick the underdog, and then I look, and San Francisco's favored.
I thought the same thing. I thought they'd be the underdog. I'm not Vegas. Maybe that line I could see shifting.
I'm not sold on Philly. I'm going Niners. Fuck them. Fuck them.
Oh, settle down. Yeah, I agree. I mean, the Eagles, it's like pretty impressive what they've done coming back over and over and over again. But the 49ers, I have to imagine, are pretty pissed from the NFC Championship game last year. It's been like stewing in their heads for a very long time, and they're out for revenge.
Niners.
Yeah.
Niners at Philly.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good game to watch.
I will watch that. Thank God the Cowboys are Thursday, so I could probably actually watch that freaking game because there's always a stupid Cowboys on. That has to be the Fox game. It has to be.
Yes.
And then we got Sunday Night Football. We got the Kansas City Chiefs traveling to the Green Bay Packers, the Lambeau Field. Chiefs are 6.5-point favorites.
Chiefs. I mean, it's just, it's boring, but like, I don't know. It's a night game at Lambeau. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
I could see it being a little bit of a trap game.
I'm going to say Packers. I don't like it. I don't love it, but I'm going to do it. I think that's the only other. Yeah, I got to take another one up there.
I know.
Because the Chiefs, I'm still not super impressed by them. They were down 14-0 to the Raiders. They came back and won, whatever. But maybe if Rice keeps it up, I mean, is T Swift going to be there? Is Kelsey going to have a good game? Well, I don't know. Time will tell.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, it's a night game at Lambeau, but I don't know. I think that the Chiefs will shine in that one.
All right. And then to finish off the week, we got the Monday Night Football game. Cincinnati Bengals without Burrow traveling to the Jacksonville Jaguars. The number 3 seed Jacksonville Jaguars. Taking the Jaguars.
What's the spread? 8?
8, yeah, sorry. 8 points. It's a big spread.
Not big enough. I'm going Jags. I'm going Jaguars.
Yeah.
Now you got me thinking because I think I usually will pick an underdog. But you got me thinking now. I have to look back and see. Hold on.
Right.
I picked all the favorites.
Yeah.
I literally picked.
I did say there's not a lot. There's not a lot of upsets out there. I looked.
I could see the Saints potentially.
I could see the Saints, and there's not even a lot of the Broncos. I can see the Broncos.
I can see the Broncos because that's even that. I didn't even look at the spread on that one, but
I don't. There's not a lot of small spreads. I guess you picked the Colts.
I did.
Okay, yeah, I can see the yeah.
I did.
Not a lot.
Well, actually, some of them are like how many? I don't know. There are some toss-up games like.
Yeah.
That I mean, the Niners and Philly, like Philly being the underdog at home, to me is a little wild.
That's
because
wild
I
to me.
thought I would have picked the underdog before I looked at.
Yes, I agree with you. I am surprised that the team who has 2 less wins and is on the road is the underdog. Yeah, I'm sorry, the favorite.
Yeah, that to me is wild. But and the bye week teams this week are the Bills, Bears, Raiders, Vikings, Giants, and Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I did mark down on my Joker pick this week. So my Joker pick is the Broncos. I'm picking the Texans there.
That's right. I like that. I'll write that down myself too. Broncos, Jokers, cool.
Right on time. Honestly, a little
early. Probably because there wasn't much to talk about with our.
I know.
Because the Patriots at this point, it's like I wish we were like 4-7, in the bubble-list kit territory, 5-6. It's like then we can be like, oh, maybe we string a couple together. But now we're just in no man's land. I know we're not mathematically eliminated, but we're totally eliminated.
That's why I said like Washington's 4-8, and I think when you look at teams like Arizona and New England and Carolina, Washington looks like 4-8 is bad, but it's not like the worst. They're bad though. They're fucking bad, and they're 0-5 in the division. But we talked about it too. So like when we'll do the playoffs, we'll do the whole thing, the Super Bowl, and I think we might do a live stream of the draft. That could be fun, especially because we'll both probably be in the top 5.
Yeah, and if if the Patriots trade out of it, you'll see me freaking bash my head again.
Well, night 1 they do. It's just round 1.
Yeah.
And then it's 2 and 3, and then 4 through 7 on day 3.
Yeah.
So we'll at least do day 1.
Yeah.
It might be a late one, but
yeah,
we'll do a day 1 draft, live draft.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And then leading up to that, we can do some sort of look into the players who are out there. I mean, it's a little early, but like, what are the different position players out there who we're targeting, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we'll have different topics to fill in an hour because basketball will be in the full swing. Yep. And then we get some wrestling. I mean, big news this week. Big news. Chicago made Punk came back.
That's right.
There's a lot of stuff that we can talk about. So
yeah,
like, comment, share. Sharing is caring. Subscribe, please.
Yep.
Thank you. The people who do watch.
Appreciate you.
But never got comments. So we ain't playing our music anymore.
Nope.
So
never again.
Sorry.
It's done. Never gonna play it ever again.
Until next week.
Bye.
Nope, not doing it.